Hello and welcome to a quick tutorial of the new Airtek Laboratory Information System. My name is Alex White. Let's begin. After you open the database, you'll be prompted to enter your password. Please do so. When the database is open, you'll be presented with a database entry point as you see here. You can select from a variety of options. To enter and modify new samples, click Logbook. To enter laboratory analysis data for samples, click Analysis. To print a laboratory worksheet, click Worksheet. To print a laboratory report, click Report. There are also buttons for entering client and project data. This entry point is where you'll be returning to if you'd like to access any of these features. Let's start with the logbook. The first thing you'll notice is it is split into two panes. On the bottom is a table including all the entries for every sample we've ever added to this database. The top area is for editing individual samples and all their fields. You can select samples by using these arrows, by clicking individual rows, or by searching. For each individual sample, there are several fields you can make entries for. The date collected, the date entered, the project number, client, location, sample condition, first and second analysts, and signatory. For entering new samples, we prefer that you click the New Batch button, which will enable you to enter more than one sample at a time. Let's try that. You click New Batch, and it asks you to enter the number of samples you'd like to add. We'll add 5, give it a batch number 15-006. The first sample being sample 1, the client being someone, the project number being 15-0001, and the date collected being yesterday. These information you can enter as you please. Clicking OK, we'll notice that it's added these new samples to our database, but we have several missing fields. To, as a group, add information to these fields, click Batch Edit. This will enable us to select the range of samples that we would like to edit the following information for: the location, the sample condition, and the appropriate analysts. Clicking OK, we'll see that it changes this information. Use the logbook to initially enter data into your database. Clicking Close will return us to the entry point. Taking a look at analysis, we'll notice that there's a similar setup here. The bottom will include the table with all of the samples that are available. On the left, on the top we have an area for entering data for individual samples. Here in the laboratory, there are many more fields available for entry. If we select a given sample, we'll notice that this has all been filled in already. The points that I'd like to note about the laboratory are that this calculation is being done down here to make sure that you are adding exactly 100% to the total composition of a given sample. That you should add the test to each sample, friable, NOB, or TEM, and the date analyzed, and the fact that these information are filled in automatically when you select a given type of asbestos. Now, you might have to delete that if you play around like I just did. If you'd like to add new layers to a current layer, first select the layer you'd like to add it to, and then click Add Layer. This will focus on the current sample. Notice that now we have the same lab IDs, sample IDs, batch numbers, but it is a new layer number. We can add information to this layer as we like. Each layer can also include multiple tests. So if we'd like to add a test to a layer, click Add Test, and now we have the same layer number, but for instance, the first one could have been a friable test, and the second one could be a TEM test. For each of these, you can enter information. If you'd like to return to the original view of this entry point, please click Refresh Table. To print reports and worksheets, we'd like to close this form and return to the entry point. These will require that you enter ranges of samples. I've already entered data for the following samples, 453, so we'll type those in. These include several layers. So this is the worksheet. Notice that it includes information at the top as well as information for each layer and each sample. The same goes for the report. Thank you for viewing this video.